Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be going through and talking about the brand new Flash Super Packs dropping tomorrow in NBA 2K25 or 25. I just said 24. It hasn't been 24 for almost a year. 25, my team. Cannot be 26 soon enough. But this is an interesting drop. There's a couple names in here that are interesting. I mean, as a Mavs fan, a Najee Marshall card is interesting to me. Now, I know that's not going to be an elite level card. There's a lot of great small forwards, but that just to me as a Mavs fan is a fun name to get a card. With that being said, Bilal will absolutely be an elite level budget card, one of the best budget shooting guards in the game. The one problem with these cards, and I've mentioned it before, and I mention it every time there's a really good budget card, is that they wind up being more expensive than they should be because of the lack of frequency with which they are pulled and the desirability of the name. So for example, Drew Holiday a couple weeks ago was more expensive than he probably should have been, despite being an elite level Opal point guard. If he was priced like the other Opal point guards, I would have been recommending him a lot more. Same story with this Bilal in all likelihood. Like, he'll probably wind up being not a buyout tomorrow. In a couple days, he'll be a buyout. He might be a buyout by tomorrow night. I don't know. He'll be a buyout 100%, but he's the type of card that you can get comparable shooting guards for probably 50K. And so while I think he'll be elite and one of the best Opal shooting guards, maybe even the best Opal shooting guard, I think this card has a lot of potential to be really, really good. I still think he's probably going to be more expensive than it's really worth to probably buy him, unless you just really want to use Bilal, who again is a very, very good card with a great jumper and all that type of stuff. Tyler Hero is not an exciting 99 to me, to be totally honest. A 6'5" point guard who's not truly elite defensively. He'll have good stats and badges, but they probably won't change his animations enough for him to be truly elite, because he would need legitimately top tier animations pretty much across the board to be one of the better point guards in my team. And Dwight Howard is unfortunately what I would just consider, pardon my language, another ass 100 overall. I mean, realistically, that's what 2K is doing, is they're intentionally dropping mostly mid to bad 100 overalls really throughout this entire season. It's not even just Tuesday drops. Throughout this season, oh, that's Twitter. I just opened the wrong thing. Let's open 2KDB and let's take a look at all the 100 overalls that 2K has dropped this season. Because yes, some of them have been elite. Some of the Friday ones especially have been elite. But like Paulo is good, not insane. Dirk doesn't count. AD, not that great. Bosch doesn't count, but he's also not that great. SGA, great. Penny, meh. Tim Duncan doesn't count. T-Mac, very good. Ben Simmons, very good. They don't count. But Cade's not that great. James Worthy's not that great. Anthony Edwards isn't that great. Oscar Robertson's not that great. Wilt doesn't count. Patrick Ewing's not that great. Clyde Drexler's not that great. Even Jason Tatum's not that great. Really, when you look at the majority of these season 6 100 overalls, they're all not that great. And especially the Tuesday ones, the Oscar Robertson, James Worthy, Patrick Ewing, and Clyde Drexler. So this is the 5th of 5 Flash Super Pack drops this season. And so we're getting our last 100 overall. And again, it's going to be Dwight Howard, who's not going to be that good, especially because 2K has not changed the jumper on a single Tuesday 100 overall yet, which has really honestly held back what could have been amazing cards and guys like Worthy, Oscar, Patrick, and Clyde. Honestly, all of them with changed jumpers would have been probably a lot better than they are. And unfortunately, what that means is Dwight is also not going to get a changed jumper, which means his jumper, which is, in my opinion, pretty mediocre, is going to be, again, the thing that kind of holds this card back. Now, he will get really good animations. He does tend to get really good animations. And his jumper is not completely unusable. But at the end of the day, he's only 6'10". Yes, his defense will play taller than that because he will get really good animations, like I said. But he's not going to, by any means, be on the level of a Wilt Chamberlain or a Shaquille O'Neal or even a Tim Duncan or somebody along those lines. I don't personally believe, because those guys are all either bigger, better shots, a combination of the group. They will have better SIGs than this Dwight realistically probably will, at least like guys like Tim Duncan definitely will. Some of the other hundreds probably will too. Even like a Ben Wallace, who's a free power forward that you could get, is very similar to this Dwight with a better jumper. He's an inch shorter, I get it, maybe 2 inches shorter, but he's got a good player build in his own right. I don't honestly think this Dwight will be that insane, to be totally honest, with a lot of really good, a lot of really great power forwards. There's a ton of guys you can use that have 90-something speed, a smooth jump shot, and high-level defense, and that's really all you need at the power forward position to be a comparable good card. And Dwight, unfortunately, just isn't a name who really excites me that much. So to be completely honest, that's kind of what we're looking at with this flash drop, is a drop where you have one really good budget card in Bilal, who's likely going to be overpriced. You have Najee Marshall, who I would like to take a look real quickly and just see if he's even gotten a gold card. Does he have any cards like real quickly? What's his jumper? He's got his own jumper. Does anybody else have his jumper? No, not this year. So he's the only person with his jumper. So I really have no idea how that shot plays. Last year he didn't have a card. Year before he didn't have a card. Year before that I don't even know if he was in the game. Okay, he was in the game in 22. 21, nope. He was a bronze. Okay, well, unfortunately Najee Marshall has just not been a super relevant NBA player, and I mean no disrespect by that, in the minds of the My Team content space probably until this year. He was, I thought, pretty underrated. I thought he had an awesome year with the Mavs, and if things had gone differently in Dallas, could have been a really key role player on a really good team. But that's a story for another day and another topic. Y'all, if y'all know I'm a Mavs fan, feel free to come by the channel and any of the live streams if you want to listen to me complain about the Mavs. But with that being said, at the end of the day, a couple names in here that are decently interesting to me, but a Dark Matter who's not exciting because he just probably won't be that good of a card, and 100 overall who I can basically guarantee won't be that great of a card for the price tag he's going for, even if he's like 600k. Why would you ever pay the same amount for this card as you have to pay for Dikembe Mutombo, who is 4 inches taller, maybe 3, but has a much bigger player build, is a far more dominant interior defender because of that, gets absolutely nasty animations, has amazing stats and badges, and has one of the best big man jumpers in all of My Team? Why would you ever pay a similar amount for one of those cards versus the other? You know what I mean? It's just, at the end of the day, that's my thought process. I think, do I think this game is in an okay place right now? I think that's debatable. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's the worst thing I've ever seen, is what I will say. At the same time, it's just pretty mid. And I think we've gone, this is now season 3 of what I would consider anywhere between terrible to just underwhelming Tuesday content. I would not say Tuesday content has ever a single time in the last 3 seasons, though, reached a level above underwhelming. The best it probably was maybe the Drew Holiday drop, or I mean, a couple of decent budget cards. Trevor Booker was decent below, but like in general, the super pack content and just the content in general the last few weeks, the last couple months really, has just been very underwhelming. So would really like to see 2K try a little bit harder, but I'm not shocked they're not, and I don't really expect them to all of a sudden drop really good Tuesday content next season. But next season is season 7. Like maybe they do. And this is my piece of advice, because this is the last Tuesday content drop we're gonna get before season 7 and before a new set. Is my advice is that you do the exact same thing, except you make it 5 cards instead of 4, and you have 4 agendas. You have to complete 4 agendas, 1 for each of the lower tier players. You get all of those players for completing their agendas, and when you complete the group, you get the final player as well. They don't even have to be the best rewards ever. Mix a couple of decent cards in there throughout the season and make it grindable, and people will be happy, even if the cards themselves are not that great. That is my piece of advice to 2K, is that they execute this the way that they executed the Tuesday content in like season 5, 6 last year, with like rush packs, and I forget what the other ones are even called at this point, but y'all remember what I'm talking about if you played last year. And while 2K24, the gambling was disappointing, I mean, they Tuesday content was probably better just in a vacuum than this year's Tuesday content has been. So hopefully we see some improvement next season. We'll see. Either way, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.